I mimic patterns of the Gothic genre as it is commentary of the creator's anger towards unjust worldly conditions. The settings in these stories center around an unappealing, wrecked version of the environment that represents the atrocities. I use decay and distortion in my work as decay makes space for rebirth, which signifies change and helps fuel the grotesque and undesirable theme I like to keep. The characters of my work collectively live in their world of installed archetypes. They are divided between three main roles that I have repurposed into my work from old literature and folktales: the crone, the damsel, and the puppet. I created the crone as someone who is prideful in their space because historically these women were used as the antagonists of stories. For example, heroes versus hags. The crone narrative was belittled through their unconventional beauty and power. In my work, I want to celebrate that misinformed role and remind the audience that the woman in the forest set as the villain is a misguided ideology created during the 11th century, when wise women began to be feared after they were originally celebrated for their knowledge and wisdom. The damsel in distress narrative is used as a catalyst to drive the hero through their beauty and virtue. These narratives are common in folktales like Snow White, where you can see the crone stereotype perpetuated as the villain, where the old woman is trying to preserve her youthfulness. The damsel narrative fuels the idea that women are weak and submissive and need a male savior. In my work, I like to look into the idea that the damsel/maiden also represent growth, new beginnings, and enchantment, that they are more than just helpless. The damsel narrative provides false ideas of what women should be like, physically and emotionally. They are widely known as submissive and dependent on a male figure who needs to save them, visually portrayed as white and fragile. Overall, it is an archetype that is harmful for many parties, and that is why the characters in my damsel narratives are the only ones a part of their story and relieve themselves of their personal struggle, rather than needing help from an external force, as well as challenging the poster boy face of fragility. An extension of the puppet role I typically examine is the purgatorist. It is a word I have created to describe people stuck in some sort of purgatory. It is the physical version of the puppet, where it is less of being stuck in an oblivious mindset, but instead a place where the world is holding you hostage. These examples are less universal than my other archetypes. My first example of the purgatorist is the double walker. It is the idea that twin identities are indefinitely attached to each other and mirror one another. It shows the struggle to grow out of a double identity, moving from we to I, but also not wanting to lose the deepest connection of your life no other can understand. Twin relationships are like no other and hold something special that is impossible to match. A twin purgatory is struggling to keep that closeness while also trying to move on as an individual outside of that box. Another personal example of being in purgatory is the limbo walker, mixed identity. There is this fight for community and a place of belonging for mixed people who are often ostracized by either ends of their identity. This person made an analogy saying that when you mix red and blue clay, you make purple. Therefore, if you are of mixed race, you are neither. You are a new species of something further alienating. Most of the characters are solitary in their world because I like to host the talent in a world that is their own and exists for them. I find hosting less people and images lets the setting be just as engaging as the person because one is not more important than the other in my work. History and research are staples to the artistic side of my work. I am majoring in photography and minoring in women's studies to help further my practice.